everybody. Good afternoon. It is great to be here with you. I'm Catherine. I'm the founder of Future Retail and the Female Founders in Retail Facebook group. And thank you so much for being here with me. Today, we are going to talk about the number one topic that when I ran a survey in the group a little while ago and asked what people wanted to learn about, everybody wanted to learn more about driving traffic to their website. Hello there. So that is the topic of today's live. Actually, it's such a big topic, it's massive. I'm still working on my giant blog post all about driving traffic to your website. And there's so many different elements of it that I'm not going to try and cover them all today. I'm going to talk about some of the fundamentals about driving traffic to your website. And then next week, I'm going to talk to you about some different methods about boosting, which are more around boosting your brand awareness. So today's is going to be about the fundamentals and next week's more about the brand awareness boosting. So that's kind of how I've split it. Otherwise, we would be here for most of the day. At the end, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about a webinar that I am hosting next Monday, the 1st of October, 8:30 p.m. It's a free webinar. I'm going to put the sign up link in the comments. So do come along and join me if you can. And it would be great to have you with me then. But for right now, let's talk about driving traffic to your website. So you've had a fantastic product idea. You have, through blood, sweat and tears, got it produced or had at least prototypes. You've worked on your branding, you've worked on setting up your social media, you've gone through the pain of setting up a website, but then once you've got that website, you're not seeing the kind of traffic that you want. I just wanted to start by saying this is a very common problem for entrepreneurs. It's probably, as you saw, it was the number one topic that people wanted to learn about, and it's something that people do get concerned about. The other thing just to say as well is you might, if you're somebody who sells mostly on Etsy or not on the high street or some other kind of marketplace, you may be thinking, is it really, or indeed actually in a physical store, you may be thinking, is it really something that I need to worry about? Well, you know, having your own website is your own place where you can direct customers to come. It's very much controlled by you. You're controlling everything about their experience on that website, all your pricing, everything about the product is controlled by you. So it is something that you want to have. Now, whether or not you're going to spend a lot of your time driving traffic there, that's that's something else to consider. But to be honest, all of the skills about driving traffic to your own website will apply also in many ways to driving traffic to your marketplace website as well. Okay, so then to jump in, what you really want to do when you're looking to build your traffic to your website is you want to look at it logically, which I know is easier said than done. And there's a lot of stress for entrepreneurs, especially in the beginning, because it seems like everybody else has got some great overnight success story, how they just put up their website and thousands of people came. And you may feel like, oh, I'm just not getting anywhere near those kind of visitor numbers. And it can feel very overwhelming. So first off, what you need to do is to just be realistic. It's not going to happen, or I should say, it is very rare for overnight people to start getting hundreds of visitors to their website. What you are more likely to see is that gradually over time your numbers will increase, and you're going to start trying things, and some things will work, and then you'll try to do more of those, and you're going to try other things and they won't work, and you'll do less of those. And over time, you're going to come up with a formula that works for your business, because there isn't really a magic formula for driving traffic. There are some fundamental strategies and fundamental activities that you should put into place, but overall, everybody's business is different, and everyone's going to have different strengths and different things they feel comfortable with. But the most important thing is that it's methodical, that it's logical, and that you keep working at it bit by bit. And I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and I thought this was such a brilliant piece of advice. And they said, if you're starting out and you have, say, 6 people or 10 people have viewed your website, and you feel really disheartened by that because you think, oh God, that's just so small. Instead, just think about 10 people being in a room. And, think about what that looks like as a physical number of people. And it's easy to do yourself down if you're not getting hundreds and thousands of views. But, you've got 10 people to get there. You've got 10 people out there, 7 billion in the world have come to your website. So, and just keep doing the small tweaks and trying different things out, but in a logical way. If you panic and just try and do everything all at the same time, you'll just burn yourself out. And again, I know that's easier said than done, because we're all very passionate about businesses, but really taking things slowly and methodically and logically is the best approach. So that all said, that's great in theory, but what are the various different approaches? So as I said, today I'm going to be talking about the fundamentals, and the fundamentals I've split into 3 sections, and that is your SEO, it's your content marketing, and it's your email marketing. So I'm just going to talk through those 3 pieces today as important tools. Now, you might be wondering, well, why have I picked on SEO, content marketing, and email marketing as my 3 fundamentals for driving traffic? And partly that's because I also want to introduce this concept to you all of there being different kinds of traffic. So it's very easy, again, to get caught up in what your visitor numbers are. But the behavior of the various different visitors is going to really vary depending on where they've come from. You're going to have higher converting traffic. So some people coming from some places are going to be higher converting, and some people coming from other places are going to be lower converting traffic just by the nature of where they're coming from. The best example I can use to describe this is that, let's say it's a Friday afternoon, you're in your office, it's Saturday, you've got a party to go to, and you need to buy a present. So you're going out on your lunch break. You've got a shopping centre next to your office, you're going out on your lunch break, and you are going to buy something for that party. So naturally, you would be higher converting, because by virtue of where you've come in from, what's in your mind, and you are ready to buy. The other kind of traffic, so let's say it's a Saturday night, you've gone to the cinema, you're leaving the cinema, you're walking through the shopping centre, you realise that it's early October, but all the shops have started putting out their Christmas party wear. So you might be in, oh look, that looks kind of interesting. You might wander in, have a little browse, but you really, unless something totally blows you away, you're probably not going to buy. You're just having a look around and you're going to leave. So that's kind of a similar idea when you're talking about the different kinds of traffic. Some people are there because they are on a mission, and some people are there because they're just kind of, having a look around. So the fundamentals really leans towards the areas where the traffic is going to be coming through that is more ready to buy. So SEO, let's start with SEO. So SEO, search engine optimization. I've talked previously in the group with Andrew Bull from Bright Arts Agency all about SEO. If you have a quick search in the group, if you weren't in the group when we did that, it was a little while ago now, then it's definitely worth a watch. But he talked quite a lot in depth about this subject. But effectively, search engine optimization is the method by which Google or other search engines find your website. There are different elements of it. It's about things like registering your sitemap with Google. It's about the links that you have. It's about where your website links to. It's all kinds of other bits and pieces. It's about the words that are on your page, the title headings, the photos, all stuff like that you can optimize to make sure that it's really, really easy for Google to find your website. It's in itself, and that's kind of what I found when I was writing this blog. Each one of these topics about driving traffic could be its own, often is its own book. So I'm not going to try and explain all of the ins and outs of SEO, but it's just something that a lot of people don't understand, which is fair enough, because it's a pretty complex subject. But because they're not that comfortable with it and they're not really sure about it, people tend to not put that much emphasis on it. But actually, for a product-based business especially, SEO can be really vital. So it's not the most fashionable at the moment, because there's, it used to be that everyone was all about SEO. And then because of the fierce competition to get to the top of the Google rankings, a lot of people felt that it wasn't really that achievable for small businesses. But doesn't mean that you shouldn't optimize your website, and also specifically look for, you may find it hard to rank for black dresses, for example, but if you have got a long sleeve V-neck black jersey dress, for example, that would be something that would be called a long tail keyword. So it's a long phrase. And the reason that they're so powerful is if you think about your own life, whenever you are really ready to buy something, if you Google, oh, my daughter's really into these LOL dolls. I don't know if anyone else has children who are obsessed with them, but anyway, if I Google LOL doll surprise, golden, whatever, I'm Googling it mostly because I'm looking to buy it. So when you go to the trouble of writing in a long phrase like that about a product into your search engine, you are looking to buy. And the conversion rate, so if you remember, the conversion rate is the number of people who buy divided by the number of people who visit your website, and it's expressed as a percentage. So if 100 people visit but one person buys, that's a 1% conversion rate. So the conversion rate for SEO traffic, for where people have actually found your website through Google, is around 3%. So it's higher than average. The average is around 2%. And that is because the customers, again, who are coming to you, they're like you on a Friday lunch break. They know they've got something in mind they want to buy, so they're more likely to buy. So that's why SEO traffic is very important. It's not a quick fix. It's something that will take several months to have an impact, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. But it's definitely an area where it's worth paying for some professional help, especially if this is not really your comfort zone. If you're getting kind of tense just even hearing about SEO and thinking about how you might have to use it in your own business, definitely talk to an SEO expert about it. And there are various different options. It doesn't have to be wildly expensive, but get someone who knows their stuff to look at your website and to make sure that it is maximized. And when done properly, SEO works for you day and night. So it's not like social media where you have to keep posting. It's once it's done, then it's always visible for people who are searching for it. So that is my top tip for driving traffic, is SEO. Second top tip is your email marketing. Now, email marketing, again, is something that is seen as less fashionable these days, but the traffic that comes to you from your email list is going to be converting at around 4%. So that is twice as high as the industry average. And the reason that your email traffic converts so well is because these are your most loyal customers, theoretically. They have trusted you enough with their email address, so they already know about you, they know you, they like you, they trust you enough to give you their email address, and you can nurture that relationship by sending them weekly emails. You don't always have to sell, but you can nurture that relationship where you're dropping them a line and you're telling them about your products. You're telling them if it's a particular niche product, you might be telling them something interesting about the niche, even if you're not directly selling through it. But you can nurture that relationship so that when you do send them an offer, or send them your new product launch, or tell them about the sale that you're launching or the promotion that you're running, then they are much more likely to buy than traffic that comes to you, even the traffic that comes to you via Google. So email marketing is something that you want to make as part of your traffic driving strategy. And email marketing also allows you to take traffic that you can't control, so traffic that's coming to you either via the web or via social media, and you can turn it into traffic that you do control because you've got their email address. So you have got a direct line of communication. And if Facebook decides to freeze your account with no explanation tomorrow, or Instagram decides that you're a dodgy user for reasons that only they know and shut you down, you've still got your email list. So email marketing is also something that is very important. The third piece of advice then is content marketing. So content marketing is about creating longer pieces of content that educate, inform, entertain your customers. That could be a blog post, it could be a behind the scenes video, it could be an infographic, a printable checklist, anything like that. So content marketing, people often ask, what's the difference between content marketing and social media marketing? And the answer is that content marketing is predominantly about content that's hosted on your website. So you will share that content on social media, no doubt. If you write a blog post, you're going to put posts up across your social media advertising it. But ultimately, it is about content that is hosted on your website. So that's another thing that will bring people to your website, because if you have got a blog post that is really optimized for your niche market, that may very well drive significant traffic. And I certainly know of product-based entrepreneurs who've done that really successfully. They've got a blog post, they noticed it's getting good traffic, they've done a bit more research, they've increased their keywords in the blog post, and that has actually helped them get significant traffic to their website. Again, it doesn't have to be a massive amount of content all the time, but even if you do a couple of pieces of really great content, that will not only give you something to talk about on social media and a reason for people to visit your website, but it will also help, as I said, with your SEO. So especially if you can kind of really niche it down and rank highly for a very particular thing that your customer is looking for. So those are the three fundamentals. Okay, I do have a question. Do you have any good tips on growing email lists quickly? Okay, so that is a very good question. So what you just want to think about is, are you maximizing the number of different ways that you can sign people up to your email list? So there's several different ways. And the different ways that you can do this are, you can have a pop-up on your website. You can have, in fact, you want multiple ways on your website for people to sign up to your email list. You can have a pop-up box. You can have something in your footer of your website. And then you can also create special pages for specifically just for getting people's email address. These are called lead pages, or sometimes called squeeze pages. And they are set up, the reason that people use them is that there's pretty much nothing on them apart from a subscribe here button, so they don't get sort of distracted and wander off. The best tip for growing your list quickly is to create something that you feel people will really want to give you their email address for. And sometimes that means trying different things and seeing how they convert. The most common one that you see for a product-based retailer is to offer a discount. So you say, get 10% off your first order if you give me your newsletter. That's fine, it's very common. I think we've probably all signed up to email newsletters specifically because we want to get that discount. But, try it. Have a look and see how that converts, and all you've got to do is see, right, I had 100 visitors to my website and 4 of them gave me their email address. Right, so that's a 4% conversion rate. You can then try other things too. You may want to set up a specific lead magnet that you put around your social media. For example, you are a beauty company and you have a series of video tutorials showing you exactly the best skincare routine. So that could be something you could put up there. Give me your email address and in return, I will sign you up to my mailing list, and I will send you one video a day for 5 days that tell you how to use these products. Or you might have, you're an eco-friendly company and you have a plastic-free challenge. So give me your email address, sign up to the mailing list, and I will send you a PDF of the plastic-free challenge. Plus, I've got a free Facebook group that I've set up that you can come join, so you can you can talk to other people also doing the challenge. So think of creative ways and then just try it. Put it out there. What do people really want? So you've got to go, and if you don't know, ask your customer, what do they want to learn about? A lot of people think, well, I'm a product-based business, that doesn't really apply, but it really can do. If you're a travel business, what about a packing list, like the perfect packing list, or how to do a capsule wardrobe for a weekend away, or something that you think would be of interest to your customer, and try then saying, sign up and you will get this. The other thing, some people do very elaborate, almost every blog post that they have a blog post, and then at the bottom of it they say, want a PDF checklist from this blog that's effectively the blog post repurposed as a PDF, put in your email address. So they almost use every single blog post that they do as a way of getting a lead page to get more email leads. Okay, so is there an ideal length for blogs? Funny enough, I was just looking at this. There are a lot of, it's almost how long is a piece of string. It's the kind of, 500 to 600 words is not a bad length for a blog, for a quick blog. I'm currently working this one. Once I finished it, the one on driving traffic, that's going to be well over 2,000 words, which is fine because I'm doing sort of one bigger blog post a month and then maybe one shorter one. You don't want it to be much shorter than 300 words. It's almost, it's not much more than a status update. But a lot of it's not necessarily about the length. It's how readable is it? How broken up? Do you have good pictures? Do you have good kind of flow? Does it flow easily? So I mean, it's hard. It's what can you manage? What can you produce that's good for that length? What you can commit to is once every 2 weeks you can write a 500-word blog, then do that. If you think actually 6 times a year I can write like a mega blog, then do that. And again, it's going to be about trial and error. So you may write a 500-word blog and see how that does, see what reaction you get to that. You may try a longer one, a shorter one, and over time you'll kind of get a sense of what works and what doesn't work. So that is the really important piece about all of this. You can't just sort of put one strategy into motion. You have to put it into motion, but then keep analysing it and seeing what's working and what's not working. Okay. Right. Well, that is it from me. As I said, I am going to tell you about the webinar I have coming up on the 1st of October. So it's called The 7 Deadly Sins of Retail for Entrepreneurs. And what I have done is I have put together a list of the most common mistakes that people make in retail, and that I've drawn on all of my experience, so not just working with entrepreneurs but also working with bigger retailers as well. So what do people do? What mistakes do they make? How can you avoid them? And how can you avoid the kind of common money pits, and which is really important, especially for people as they start up. So I hope that was useful. Please do pop in the comments if you have any other questions and I'll come back to you. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.